Hey, Nic Peterson coming at you again today, thinking about or jamming on achievement, okay, maximum achievement, and the idea of your maximum achievability is not your maximum maintainability. And I'll tell you what I mean by that because this is what makes people great, right? It's consistency. Consistency is what makes people great. I'm going to show you how to identify that in your business to become a preeminent service provider. It's about becoming consistently great, not great once a week, not great once a quarter, right? Consistently great. And here is the mental flip you need to make. Here's the paradigm shift, okay? We perform at a high level, assuming we're high impact humans, right? And let's say it doesn't matter if we're a basketball player. Let's say we have a 30-point game, right? We go to the NBA, we have a 30-point game. Sweet. We have a business, we did $100,000 in a month, or maybe we had a $20,000 day or whatever, right? And what we start doing is our ceiling improves, right? Our ceiling improves. And because we're visionaries and because we're high achievers, we keep trying to push that ceiling, right? And the higher that ceiling goes, the more the returns diminish and the more difficult it gets to make progress. But here's the thing. We are an average. Our average performance over time, right? We're bouncing between our ceiling and our floor. Okay? Good day, bad day, good day, bad day, good day, bad day. And so once you have your performance, right? And once that ceiling starts to get higher, when there becomes space between your ceiling and your floor, it is higher leverage, better use of time to raise the floor. Right? But because we're visionaries and we think big, we're pushing, we're trying to raise the ceiling, raise the ceiling, raise the ceiling. But our performance over time, right? This continuum, because there is no reset button, right? It's not how perfect you eat today. It's how close can you get to perfect every day for the rest of your life, right? And so here we are as high achievers. This would be the equivalent of a basketball player having a 50-point game and then a 7-point game, right? And then a 30-point game and then a 4-point game, right? That's not greatness. But if you keep pushing for this esoteric, you keep pushing for a higher ceiling, your average is still going to fall somewhere between the ceiling and the floor. Now, removing, we call it via negativa, removing the bad days, removing the days you didn't get work done, removing those 0-point days, removing the day you didn't stick to your diet, right? Just removing those things is way easier than optimizing up here, and it increases the average. So as an organization or a service provider, understand, I totally get that you want to have a record month. I totally get you want to have a record number of clients. I totally get that you want to do better than you've done. But to do that consistently, right? Remember, it's a continuum. Like it's year one rolls into year two, rolls into year three. Nothing resets on January 1st or whatever. So there's a continuum. And to have the best possible outcome, we need to raise the floor, right? So we're bouncing between our ceiling and our floor. And what we need to do is raise our floor. Now, how do we do that? In business, you cannot do that consistently by focusing on just marketing and sales, right? Marketing and sales are important. I like to market. I like to sell stuff. But the way we improve consistently is not by marketing harder, selling more, collecting more, right? That is part of it, but our average goes up because maybe I don't have a record month of sales every day, right? But we improved our churn. So our revenue is actually higher. We're raising the floor. And only when the floor is very, very close to the ceiling, this is a consistent high performer. This is a repeat achiever. Okay. This is a achiever that is going to crash and burn and achieve and crash and burn and probably burn themselves out through the process, right? This is scary. It's dangerous. It is not sustainable. This, when your ceiling and your floor, when your best day, right? Like what is LeBron's best days? 50 points. What's his worst? 20? Like, that's not a huge range, right? It's not going from 50 to 2, right? This is a repeat achiever. They're predictable. They have high trust, right? And when your floor approaches your ceiling, when your worst, let's say your worst month is $200,000 a month in revenue collected, and your best month is 215, right? Very, very close. You can start raising the ceiling again. It's a little bit more difficult. And then as soon as there's space, we raise the floor again, because that is the highest leverage, best use of time over the long run. So you have to understand that there's this longevity aspect, and it's a continuum. And if you do that, you can consistently improve your business. And we systematically do this. Man, I wish I was on my software, my B Live, I'd share my screen. We systematically do this by protecting the floor. We're not reaching, me in my business, I am reaching for the ceiling. And it would fall apart. It would be a disaster if I did not have a team of operating people. My business partner, Dan, who is probably the best COO on the planet, which is why we built the system. So other small businesses like you could have a Dan. It allows me to reach for the ceiling, push, 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 push. If I burn out and like keel over and take 6 weeks off, the business still improves. That actually happened. I took 6 weeks off, and the business still improved because I had operating people that were protecting the floor as I was trying to raise the ceiling, right? So what happens with the entrepreneur, raise the ceiling, raise the ceiling, raise the ceiling, they burn out and their business goes all the way to the ground floor. What we do in our system is push the ceiling and then raise the floor. Push the ceiling, raise the floor. Our average, so even though our ceiling's not growing, our floor is, which means our average performance is improving. So if you take average performance over time, it is a straight improvement, even though it's not always the ceiling. So hopefully that makes sense. That's how we build our business. That's how we show other people how to build their business. That's why we built the system, so that we can understand that it's about that average improvement. Your average is somewhere between your ceiling and your floor. If your floor is improving, your average performance is improving. If your ceiling's improving, your average performance is improving. However, there is a much higher cost, energy, time, effort, diminished returns in improving the ceiling. So if your best month and your worst month, if there's a huge gap, the best thing you can do is build a system to raise the floor. Your average performance will improve. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that's useful. That's what we do. MasteryModeSystem.com. If you want to apply and talk about it. But that's just so you understand, my role in my business is push the ceiling, push the ceiling, push the ceiling. I would burn out and my business would crash down to the floor, but I have a partner and a team of operating people, Katya, Brian, Vita, that as I push the ceiling, whether I succeed or not, they are constantly raising the floor. Whether I am succeeding or not, our business performance is improving, and it will do so until our floor matches our ceiling, in which case we are at least consistent. And then it is our job as an organization to push the ceiling. Hopefully that makes sense. That's how we operate. A lot of people are trying to understand, what is a system? What does it do? That's what it does. It creates a consistently high performing repeat achiever of a business. Cool. That's MasteryModeSystem.com. Hop on there. We'll talk. If not, take that concept, ceiling, floor. Okay. Raise this before you blow your load, right, on raising this, because this is burnout city. And when you burn out, you'll fall right back down. Your average is somewhere between your ceiling and your floor. Raising your floor is higher leverage, less work, more important for longevity.